back to another video. Today I'm going to tell you how to pass the AWS Solution Architect exam in 5 simple steps that I did. All of my students who passed the exam did exactly those steps. So in this video, I'm going to show you the strategy of answering a sample exam questions, and also I'm going to explain to you from where you can get the resources in order to pass the exam from the first attempt. The AWS certificate helps learners to build a knowledge and expertise with an industry-recognized credentials. You must earn a passing score on a protected exam to earn an AWS certification, and you are required to update your certification or recertify every 3 years. The target candidate should have at least 1 year of hands-on experience designing secure, high-performing, cost-effective, highly available, and scalable system by using AWS resources. So guys, you need to have at least 1 year of hands-on experience designing products, architecture in AWS. So it's not enough to be there on the internet seeing videos and buying exam dumps, because this is not going to do you any good. You have to do the work in order to pass the exam. This is what they are saying in their exam guide. There are 2 types of questions in the exam. The multiple choice, which has 1 correct response and 3 incorrect responses. But actually, some of those 3 incorrect responses, most of them are a bit correct. So you have to be well aware of all the difference between the services and the well architected framework to choose the best answer. So there is some answer which it could be correct. And this is what you will keep saying to yourself in the exam. Oh, this question, answer A, B, and C is correct. Which one is the best? And this is why the solution architect is a bit challenging. The second type of the exam is going to be multiple response. Has 2 or more correct responses out of 5 or more response options. And in this case, you have to list, for example, 3 correct answers. And again, what you need to know for the exam is don't leave any question blank. Try to guess if you don't have time or if you run out of time in the exam. Try to guess, because unanswered the questions are scored as incorrect. There is no penalty for guessing. The exam includes 50 questions that will affect your score. Your results for the exam are reported as a scaled score between 100 to 1000, and the minimum passing score is 720. So let me show you now the 5 steps that you need to do to pass the exam with the flying colors. The first step that you must do is to review the exam guide carefully and check that you have covered all domains in your study. Also, you did practice those skills in the management console of AWS. Don't ever think you can pass the exam from seeing or reading the class only without building in the cloud for real and testing those services with the practical labs and tutorial. The exam guide gives you a list of each objective and the percentage of each domain from the total exam mark. For the first one, it will check your ability to design multi-tier architecture, highly available and or fault tolerant. Also, design decoupling system using load balancer and SQS queues, and choosing the correct resilient storage for a system like S3 or Elastic File System or Elastic Block Storage. So let us take an example about the exam questions. In this sample exam question, a company must perform asynchronous processing and implemented Amazon Simple Queuing service as part of a decoupled architecture. The company wants to ensure that the number of empty responses from polling requests are kept to a minimum. What should a solutions architect do to ensure that the empty responses are reduced? So let us identify the keywords. Empty responses are reduced. That's the main thing related to SQS. Now, increasing the maximum message retention is not going to do us any good. Receives from the read-write policy of the queue is also not correct. And increase the default visibility timeout for the queue make the problem even much worse. The best strategy now is to eliminate those incorrect answers because, for example, in SQS, it provides us with short polling and long polling to receive messages from a queue. When you consume messages from a queue using short polling, Amazon SQS samples a subset of its servers and returns messages from only those servers. When the wait time of the received message action is greater than 0, the long polling is in effect. The maximum long polling wait time is 20 seconds. So long polling helps reduce the cost of using Amazon SQS by eliminating the number of empty responses. So in this case, answer D is the correct answer. The second domain is to show your ability and the required skills to build a high-performing architecture. So let us take an example of a question was given in the exam. A web application enables customers to upload orders to an S3 bucket. The resulting Amazon S3 events trigger a Lambda function that inserts a message into an SQS queue. A single EC2 instance reads the messages from the queue, processes them, and stores them in a DynamoDB table partitioned by a unique order. So up to this point, everything is good. Next month, traffic is expected to increase by a factor of 10, and a solutions architect is reviewing the architecture for possible scaling problems. Which component is most likely to need re-architecting to be able to scale to accommodate the new traffic? Now, as we know, Lambda function is a managed service. It's highly scalable by default, and we don't have access to do anything about the scalability of Lambda. The same scenario applies for SQS and DynamoDB table. We are left with one choice because we are going to scale the system. The only component that I can see here that needs scaling is that single EC2 instance. In the third domain, you need to show that you can design a secure AWS architecture and you are able to select the correct data security options. So let us take an example. A company is storing an access key in a text file on a custom AMI. The company uses the access key to access DynamoDB tables from instances created from that AMI, and the security team has mandated a more secure solution. Which solution will meet the security team's mandate? Now, if you look to the keywords here, we find that they want to store an access key to give permission to an EC2 to access a DynamoDB table. If you put the access key in an S3 bucket, that's going to be a very bad option. Because if the bucket, by any chance, deleted the content of the bucket by any chance or accidental deletion, or somebody make the bucket content publicly available, this means your key will be exposed. Pass the access key to the instances through an instance's user data is also not good idea because you have to keep configuring the user data all over again, and it is not secure. Obtaining the access key from a key server launched in a private subnet is also something we are not able to do because at the end of the day, you need to have a permission for the EC2 to be accessed from the key server. Create an IAM role with permissions to access the table and launch all instances with the new role is the correct answer. The fourth domain is about cost optimization. So this will test your ability in save the running cost of the architecture. And let me ask you, have you ever used the AWS calculator for calculating the cost of your infrastructure before building it in AWS? So this is another pillar of the well-architected framework that you should address in your study and practice. Let us take a sample question. Company salespeople upload their sales figures daily. A solutions architect needs a durable storage solution for these documents that also protects against users accidentally deleting an important document. Which action will protect against unintended user action? storing data in an elastic block storage volume, store the data in an S3 bucket, store the data in two S3 buckets in different AWS region, and store data on EC2 instance store. Now, storing the data in Elastic Block Store, guys, is going not to do us any good, because between those snapshots time, you might get this accidental deletion, and at the same time, we are saving objects here. We are not saving a block of data, so this is not a database. So this is not correct. Now, the second one, storing data in S3 bucket and enable versioning, it sounds very good to us, because if a document is deleted, you are able to restore it because versioning is enabled, and also you can get the previous version of the document, just in case if there was an accidental deletion. Even in the latest configuration of the S3 bucket, you can enable multi-factor authentication to protect some document from being deleted from the console or from the bucket. Storing a data in two S3 buckets, now this will be okay to select if they are mentioning here enabling data replication between two S3 buckets. Then in this case, you still have a replica of the data in another region. Storing data on an EC2 instance storage, it's the same, because the instance storage, as you know, if we stop the EC2, we lose the content of the instance storage. So the answer will be B in this case. And let us move on to step number 2, which is AWS certification official practice question sets, where you can get it for free without paying for any practice exam. So the link is explore.skillbuilder.aws/learn, and you will find it below this video in the description. You could also search for it in the Google, and you will find it in the Google search. It's right there. So once you select this link, it will ask you now to sign in or to register. So normally you can sign in to Skill Builder using your Amazon. You can log in with your Amazon. If you have an AWS partner email, you can use that. Now let me just put my Amazon account. And click on sign in. Now once you sign in, this will take you to the landing page, and you can find very useful things. You could find exam readiness for the solution architect. You can find as well questionnaires. There's many courses. You could also look at them if you have an IoT learning plan, you are doing the system ops certificate, you want to build a modern application with build database, with Chinese, and many of these tutorials are available in multiple languages. Now what we are interested on is we want a question set. So if you go to the search bar, I have the course there, but I just want to show you how you can search for it. So if you go to the search bar and you put, for example, question sets for the associate, and you can choose. These are in German, in Portuguese, Japanese, Korean, and there is also all results. So you can get all the results that you have. For example, these are a digital training. You could also specify, let's say you want for the foundation, the practitioner. You could also get the practitioner in multiple languages. Now, because we want the solution architect, let us specify. If you specify the solution architect, you could get it, for example, in Korean. Let me select in Korean just to show you the process. Now, once you select the Korean, for example, you click on enroll, and now you can start learning. And then you need to click on start learning as well here. And here now in Korean, from this page, I'm not able to go further. So let me show you this in English. So I have the AWS certification official practice question set. Pay attention here, guys. Every time you log into the skill builder, it's going to give you a different set of questions. So once I select the English one, I click on start learning, access the practice test, and this is now will take you to another page. So go back and pay attention to the details here. So the instruction to access the test, you need to go this link and you need to copy this code here in order to access this site. So I'm going to click redeem and access code, copy it and paste it here, and then this will take you to the page where you will find the exam sets. I know like this is involving many setups, but once you do it for the first time, you are going to do it forever. Let me select now my name, my email address, the one I used, create a password as well, and that's all you need to do to create an account. If you have an account in the future, you can just sign in directly to this link, but I just want to show you the process. Now let me save my account here and start studying. So this will give me now a set of questions. These are going to be 20 questions, and there is unlimited time of how many times you want to practice them. Exactly which domain of knowledge you need to go and practice again. So let me click on start. Which of the following are benefits of the AWS Cloud? And you need to select 2. Need increase IT staff. Capital expenses are replaced with variable expenses. Customer receive the same monthly bill. No. Companies gain increased agility. And AWS hold responsibility for security in the cloud. Actually, the customer are responsible for the security in the cloud. And you click confirm, and this will take you to the next page and the next page and so on. And it will give you the correct answer. And if you need to get the correct answer, you can find the correct answer by showing the answer. For example, which of the following are advantage of the AWS Cloud? This is another question with the same format as well, just to test your knowledge about Cloud Foundation. Let's say I will select random without reading those, and I will click on confirm. This will give you the error, and they will give you the correct answer and the explanation of the correct. What I want to say from this, guys, you don't need to pay big money to buy exam dumps. You don't need to buy an exam practice. Step 3, read the AWS frequently asked questions. This is what I used personally to be certified years ago. The frequently asked questions are the best place to find the most tricky and difficult questions about any service, because people who place those questions are real people with real product using daily the AWS services, and they have some technical issues and concern. So they are the best source of a training, because they will place and they will ask one of the most difficult question about any of those services. So all you need to do is to go to the AWS FAQ and start digging for questions related to EC2, SC3, Route 53, VPC, RDS, and SQS. Specifically, guys, SC3. Step number 4. Hands-on experience is the best source of knowledge. Challenge yourself with labs and tutorials that you will find many of them in this channel, and the description is going to be down below. Go to my channel and make sure you do all the 20 labs, because by doing them, you will save yourself big time of studying and seeing soaring videos on YouTube of people doing something clearly they don't understand. The other day, I saw a video with a title read like this, guys. This is the ultimate guide for passing the solution architect exam. In the same video, guys, he was recording himself failing to create a tutorial about an Elastic Container Service. The video was full with misleading information, the wrong way how we do things in AWS. This is not how we build highly available, highly scalable architecture. This is not the point of being a solution architect. One of the skills that you need to demonstrate in the solution architect is your ability to save cost and to save money. So I think personally, if you go and you buy exam dumps for $100, you should not be a solution architect, because one of your tasks as a solution architect is to save those companies and those organizations a big lump sum of money. So you need to know yourself how to save money first. Another place you can use to challenge yourself and test your knowledge and skills is the AWS Quick Start for the guys who just started looking to get more knowledge and experience. It's full with lots of tutorials that you can go and practice. Let's say you are not sure that you really understand Lambda. You go and you do a few tutorials about Lambda until you enhance your skills and enhance your technical knowledge about Lambda. Step number 5, read the AWS documentation, white paper, and see this is my architecture videos. Now this is my architecture videos, why they are important? Because they are made by people who are working in the industry with real product, with real data, with AWS services. So seeing them will give you a great insight, but you have to be wise how you are going to read and to see those white paper and documentation about a service. I'm not saying to you go and read everything you will find about SC3, because this will take you years. So let's say you have some weakness to understand, or you fail to understand a specific service, you go and you read about that specific service. What I want to say from this, guys, everything is for free for you. All you need to do is to allocate time to study based on the 5 steps I just show you in my video. Thank you and see you again.